Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's New at DCKAP. I'm Himanshi and today we are walking you through release 5.5.0. This one is packed with improvement to workflow automation, troubleshooting and EDI management. And I'm not doing this alone. Joining me today is Vail Venkatesh, Associate Product Architect at DCKAP. Over to you, Vail.
Yeah, hi Himanshi. Excited to be here. So I'm pretty much happy to walk through all the product enhancement that we have done in the last release. So yeah, I'm happy to get everyone through this.
Perfect. Let's dive right in. So, Vail, where should we start?
So I think we can start with the console log search. So I would say we did some R&D on this and then we made it to the production. So this is the first task that we have did R&D and took into production. So I think we can start it over there. Yeah, so we start with integrator updates first. So we have also EDA updates. So on the integrator side, we have worked on console log search feature. So which is primarily for debugging purpose when we build a workflow and all those things. So the primary challenge that user had in this particular part is searching the log errors or searching particular API calls and all those things. So just for example, if you open this console, you will see large number of logs. So these are very large number of logs. And if you want to open a particular log, you need to navigate through all these files. Let's say you want to see what happened on step number 15 or what happened in this particular API call. So it's very hard. To solve this problem, we just introduced search feature. So let's say you want to search something like this, there is a particular message. You want to search this particular message. I'm copying this message and I'm putting this over here. If I click on enter, you can see this trimmed down to just five logs. So this particular content appears only in this particular 5 logs. So you don't want to traverse through all these files and find those content. So we will search that and we will give you the list of files that matches it. So if you open this file now, you can see that, right? So this is straightforward and it reduces your debugging time. So if you see the file numbers here, this particular content is present in file number 169, 171, 184. So this is about console log search.
That's nice one for anyone who has ever had to hunt through logs manually, I would say.
Yes, Himanshi, this even we got good feedback for this from our users.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's next?
So the next thing will be on the bulk sync, which we had encountered some issues on the sync module previously. So we solved that using bulk sync functionality. I think we can go through that. So to start off with, why do we have this bulk sync is, let's say you are a new customer to integrator and you have like 1 lakh products or 2 lakh products in your ERP or e-commerce, wherever you say you want to integrate that. So what happens is when you integrate that data, you will be running those data along with the pool of other customers. So what happens is the memory that you share in the infrastructure, it collides with the other customer data. So in order to give you smooth integrations and smooth synchronization of your data with a separate infrastructure pool, we introduce bulk sync mode. So let's say I take this Shopify integration. So in previously we only had this sync now button. So now you can see there is a drop down here. You can sync this as a bulk sync. So what happens is we allocate a separate resource for this particular sync and we run this sync independently without clubbing with other synchronization. So what happens is this particular sync will get a dedicated memory of like 10 GB, 12 GB of RAM, whatever we have in our infrastructure. It's actually dynamic. So based on our infrastructure. So what happens is all the 1 lakh records will get those 12 GB of RAM to process that data. So previously, without bulk sync, you will be sharing this 12 GB of RAM with other synchronizations. So that is something will be reducing the performance. It will be reducing the increasing the synchronization time. Now, through this, we can reduce the synchronization time since we have large amount of memory, large amount of processor to process this data. So we have two methods. So one is you can just run this bulk sync one time. And the other thing is you can enable this bulk sync mode. So once you enable, all the auto syncs or all the scheduled syncs that will always run on bulk sync. So you can enable this right away. And whenever you just click on sync, it will always run on bulk sync. So this is the bulk sync features that we have introduced.
I think it's a good context to keep in mind before switching it on. What
Yes.
else do we have?
So the thing is, next feature that I would like to talk about is maybe variable overview features. So let's say take this panel. We have a lot of variables initialized throughout the workflow. So we had already a variable overview panel, but the problem with that is we show you like, let's say there is a variable called name. We show you the exact place where they have used. So the step number 2, step number 3, and you can see this step numbers. But the problem here is, let's say you open this panel, we have used this variable in the payload. Similarly, there are a lot of tabs here. So we would have been using that variable anywhere, like in the variable section, the pre-step we would have used, in the intermediate we would have used. So that is not clear in the variable overview panel. So now what we have did is, if you click here, we show you exactly where it is being used in that particular section. So if you click here, it is exactly used in the configuration section. And if you click here, it shows this shop num10. This variable is used in two places in the same node. One is in the pre-step and one is in the payload. So if you see the pre-step, see, this is the variable that has been used. So it directly reaches you to that. I mean, directly it takes you to that particular section. So this will be more helpful when you want to reinitialize this variable, or when you want to make changes to that variable and you want to see the impact area. Let's say, for example, you are using this variable in 10 places and you want to change the data type of the variable, or you want to change some logic based on this variable. This will help you to figure out where are these variables being used and what impact it will make to that particular workflow when you change this variable, or when you update something to this variable. So this will help you to navigate easily and find it out. Without this feature, what happens is you have to manually go through all the lines of this workflow. This workflow looks very small, but if you go through any bigger workflow, this will be very complex for you to figure it out. So that's the high level updates on this variable overview panel.
I think it's now more simpler and navigation is also easy comparatively. I have noticed in release notes, there is one more update, which is like scheduled project summary reports. What is this
Yes.
about? Can you explain us?
So scheduled project summary reports is something, let's say what happens is the integrations keeps on running in the background. And let's say every week there will be like you get 500 orders or 1000 orders. So suddenly there you notice there is a drop in orders. So it is not necessary that you have to always come to integrator and see the logs to see how many records has been processed and everything. So we have introduced an option called project summary. I mean project summary reports. So if you come to the project settings, there will be a new tab called scheduled reports. So if you click that, you can subscribe for the reports. So the reports will not be sent to everyone. So only the persons who subscribe to this report, they will be receiving the reports. So let's say you click on subscribe. So what happens is it will ask you two options. One is you can either subscribe for weekly reports or you can subscribe for monthly reports. We will deliver you the reports on your working time every Monday morning 8 a.m. based on your local time zone. And similarly, even for the monthly, we will deliver you on the every first day of the month, the same timing, morning 8 a.m. in your local time zone. So let's say there is one use case. You are already a user of integrator. Let's say you have your CEO or you have your manager who are not part of integrator, but they want to know the summary reports. So what you can do is you can add their email address as a CC. So let's say my manager email, I just add it like this. So let's say he's not part of integrator. I mean, he don't have account in integrator. You can add his email address. Let's say you want to add multiple email address. You can add like this. So you can add multiple email address, and we allow maximum of 3 CC members in this particular section. And they will be also receiving the reports. So the moment you save subscription, so the subscription will be saved, and you can see you'll be receiving weekly reports on every Monday. So I'll show you the sample report where we have how many orders, I mean, how many records we have processed. I'll show the sample reports now. Okay, so this is the sample report. So if you can see this, we have a pipe name, which is the integration name, and you have the workflow ID just for reference. And you can see total success records, failure records, and total records processed. So you can see there are 1,500 failure records. So let's say on Monday morning, you come and log in into your office and you check your email, and you suddenly notice this 1,500 failure records. You can immediately reach out to our support team, or you can log in into integrator portal, and you can see what has failed, and you can filter it, and you can see what records have failed in the detail log section that we already have. And you can just traverse through the integrator portal and see why it has failed and everything. And you can use this console log search option to figure it out and debug why it has failed and everything. So this keeps you more proactive, and it gives you each and every update weekly basis or monthly basis, which keeps you on track. So you know, okay, this much of records has processed. You can match this number with your ERP count as well. So this is all about scheduled summary reports.
So basically, what I can get out of this is the report comes to you instead of you chasing them down. Am I right in
Yes,
saying
correct.
that?
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Okay, that's great.
So next thing we have is EDA enhancements. So EDA is something that we are building as a product, and where we had already few updates on the EDA. So I'll take you through what we have done recently on the EDA side. So on a UI perspective, it looks similar. So it looks like we have not done anything, and it's pretty much same as looks like previously. But the core thing is, previously, let's say if you have created a trading partner, so there is no option for you to share this partner, which means sharing in the sense in integrator, you have projects where you can invite other members to the project to collaborate with you. So in EDI, we didn't have such options to invite members to collaborate. Let's say you are a senior manager in your organization, and you want your subordinates to work with you on this particular product for setting up the EDI things and connectors and certificates and everything. And you want to bring in your subordinates. So there was no option to bring in those subordinates. So now what we have did is like, we have bring in an option called companies. So you can see you are in a company called, it defaults to your email ID. So this is my default company. You can create your own company as well. So all the data that you had previously will be linked to that default company that we already created for you. So what happens is, you can now invite members to your company and collaborate with them. So you can notice this company settings. And when you go into that, you can see the members of the project. So now you can invite the members. So let's say I can select a role. So these roles can be also customized. I'll show you that in the upcoming screens. So this invitation will be sent. So the moment the invitation is accepted by the user, they will be added to this active member section. So the roles are something that have gives you like lot of confidence to you. So the thing is, let's say you want your subordinate into the company, and you want to give very restricted access. Let's say you want to give only read-only access. So what happens is, you can create read-only access, and let's say you give only partner view, certificate view, messages view, and you just create it straight away. So this has only read-only access to all these modules. So whenever you add a member, you can straight away add their email ID and select the role as read-only access. So they get only read permissions. So this is something where you can bring in your subordinates with more control of what they can do and what they can access, since EDA has some data that are very sensitive, because we process order data and we process PO, purchase order and everything. So that can be very sensitive, and we don't want everyone to look into that. And we have certificates and we have connectors where we have all our credentials things. So we don't want to keep it open for everyone whoever we invite. So we want to bring in this role-based access control. So that is what we have introduced on a high level. And moreover, let's say on an organization perspective, anyone can leave the organization and keeping your data intact. So previously, the data is tied to the user. Let's say I am the organization person who is responsible for EDI. If I leave the organization, I leave along with the data. So, but in a real use case, the data belongs to the organization. So if I leave, that should not affect the organization. So now we have solved that problem as well. Even if I leave, there can be another person who can take over this company and they can make use of whatever data has been already built and we don't lose the data. There is no problem with that. So this is something that we have covered on the EDA side.
I would say it's a stronger security and smoother day-to-day collaboration. All we put together in such a one update.
Yes, correct. So this is on as you said, we keep the organization more secure, the data more reliable, and we also make the collaboration more easy.
Absolutely. This has been a great walkthrough, Will. Thanks so much for breaking it all down for us. And that's wrap up release 5.5.0. To know more, explore the release notes link below, and you'll find the full details on every enhancement we covered today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next release.